All right. So we are on our last week of social studies for ancient Mesopotamia. That's very exciting. Your last page is your events timeline, and it looks like this. Yours will look a little different depending on whether or not you kept this part. I told you in the beginning you could keep it or you could throw it away. It was up to you. It's really not that necessary because we do everything linear right here. So page 10 is your timeline. It's just a breakdown, a summary of everything that happened. Okay, so it starts at 4,500 BC and then it goes all the way down. As you'll notice, time decreases. So we start at 4,500 BC and we end at 605 BC, but that's as time progresses. BC goes down, whereas now we know that we go up. So like next year would be 2019. Instead of us decreasing, we go up in time now, but that's not how it was back then. So this would be actually in ancient Mesopotamia, the most current thing, if you will. Okay. So that's how you're going to record it on your notebook page, is just like this. If you kept this part, feel free to copy it down, and let's just jump right into it. Okay. So just as a quick wrap up to our unit, in 4,500 BC, during this time, the Tigris and Euphrates rivers were discovered by nomads, and remember, those are wanderers. And then in 3,500 BC, Sumerians finally arrive in Mesopotamia and create a civilization. In 3,300 BC, city-states were formed in Mesopotamia. And in 3,000 BC, cuneiform was developed. That was their writing. Go ahead and pause this video to fill in that on your notebook page. Moving on, in 2500 BC, Akkadians' first empire was created. And from 1792 to 1750 BC, Hammurabi's rule of ancient Mesopotamia, that's when he started ruling and ended ruling. And in 1754 BC, his law was developed, which was the first written law code. We know it's 282 laws that were quite cruel and very strict. And finally, in 605 BC, we seen Nebuchadnezzar's rule, and that was New Babylonian times. Okay. We don't really talk about Nebuchadnezzar too much, but if we look in our reading, let's see if they talk about him here at the end. We talk about Sargon and Akkadian. We talk about the code. No? Okay. Perfect. So that would be your timeline, and you're going to fill it in. Again, it should look something along the lines of this. All right. And now what you're going to do is you're going to gather maybe your textbook, maybe your notebook. Really, if your notebook is filled out completely, this test should be a breeze. And you're going to start your social studies test. If you go to your HyperDoc next task, it will be your test, and your following task will be to turn in your notebook for grading, because your notebook is a grade. All right. And if you are to the point where you're far ahead and your social studies is moving on, or you finished social studies unit 1, fantastic. We will be going into Unit 2 here at the very end of the quarter, and until you get there, no worries, it will become free time for you, okay? So make sure you have all your materials, watch any videos you need to again, make sure your notebook's completely filled out, and take the opportunity to really get some study time in here before you take this test. Should be a breeze as long as you have filled out and done everything that you're supposed to be doing. Good luck.